Casual, Cap. No, more casual.
How might I help you out of a bit of money, Squab? Care to join our fun? Or is it swilling information you're chasing?
The pirate looks you over, eyeing the make of you. A sly smile curls at his mouth as he tosses a pair of dice to rattle over the cobblestone ground. Without so much as a glance at the settling dice, he calls out their numbers. I'm looking for Captain Benwith.
I ain't my captain's keeper, and I know better than to ask what business you've got with Brutal Ben.
He jerks his head once to the right.
You might check the court for him. If he ain't target practicing, he's tickling the harpsichord or taking his swill. 2 out of the 3 can be done there. But if you see him, don't fucking tell him I sent you.
He rolls a spare die over the tops of his fingers, making it appear and disappear with fluid flicks of his hand. Farewell.
Ahoy, Captain. I've got to come clean about something, and that'll be as good a time as not.
I certainly can't object to a cleaner Seraphim.
Much as I hate Benwith, the main reason I signed up with you were to get here. To get a chance to look for a man named Romaro.
Another ex?
Nay, Captain, but I like where your head be.
He chuckles quietly.
Now, that'd be a longer story than we've got time for. Quick of it be that Romaro's in trouble. The Principe have sent a ship hunter after him, and I've got an evening and a half to find him first. I didn't see his ship, so probably not. But mayhaps we could keep a weather eye open for clues to his whereabouts.
Why didn't you tell me about Romaro before? Seraphin's head falls and he scratches the scar on the side of his nose.
Apologies, Captain, for not being more forthcoming. Romaro be like family to me, and I didn't know you from a bilge pump. Actually, I've known a bilge pump or two.
You've got nothing to apologize for. Family is important. We'll find Romaro together.
Thanks, Captain. I appreciate it, truly.
He beams, clasping a closed fist to his breast.
Think this'll break me? Ha! It won't. Spit on me, and I'll make you regret it. One day, surely.
Why are you being punished?
Those hagfish. Benweth's crew lashed me up to be, and I quote, a deterrent to insubordination. It's shark shit. All I did was filch one of their horns and blast it to start lung with. I wanted to see her get all worked up.
Benweth's crew uses hornblast for an alarm?
Well, sure. But shouldn't you know this, on account of you being a captain?
She tilts her head back, gazing suspiciously at you from beneath her lashes. Of course, I'm a pirate, matey. Yar!
Uh-huh.
She licks her lips. I'll cut you loose.
Not that I ain't grateful, but if Ben's crew spots me about, they'll be taking more than my pride next.
Don't get caught again.
Suppose I'll do my best.
She flicks you a sly smile in parting.
Captain, before I go introducing you to Siri, I should, mention something.
Seraphim frowns, scratching at his furred cheek. There's always a complication.
Aye, see you getting savvy to Andra's salty laws. I might have said things to Siri when I last dropped anchor at Deadlight. Just lover's words, savvy. But I can't say I rightly lived up to them. I ain't saying there's a problem, just a possible wrinkle in the old charts.
A pirate misleading someone to plunder their booty? Shocking!
You ain't sailing with bare poles, Cap. All I'm saying is, you see her go for a pistol, you best step away from me.
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with his pipe hand.
Not 'cause I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean.
He cocks his head to one side and smiles. I couldn't go having all the fun by myself.
Well, real nice of you to share. Someday I'll have to get you a gift. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
There is something accusatory behind Adair's eyes.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. Thought you were weird at first, of course, but you've surprised me.
There's no point to any of this if I have to sacrifice my beliefs.
And there's something to that. I like to think I'm the same way. Except I chose to believe in the goodness of a giant statue that kills everything it passes.
He scrapes his teeth over his lower lip.
Sometimes I have second thoughts about that. I've been meaning to ask, though. How is it you never seem to lose your way through all this? What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I think about what the wrong path would be. Then I do the opposite.
Why didn't I think of that? Could have saved myself some trouble.
Adair heaves a sigh that sounds as if it's been building up for months. His smile is tight-lipped, wistful.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
Easier to worship a god when their worst traits are swept under the rug.
Yeah, I guess it was. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
He adopts the smile and gently pointed finger of a coaxing parent.
You pray to him. He might help you, too.
He lets the finger drop and the smile fade.
There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seem longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
Of course, even Barath wants us to follow him.
I suppose that's true. Not really a point in Aethys' favor, though. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing. I think this was just a long way of saying I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good, going with you.
He shakes his head with a look on his face like he just remembered a joke. The Orlan's large eyes grow larger as you approach, then narrow to a sharp edge. Her hands briefly ball into fists before finding their way to her hips. With a sharp twist of her head, she flips seaweed green hair over one shoulder.
Look who finally washed back up ashore.
The edge to her words matches the sharpness of her teeth. Seraphine winces.
Ahoy there, Ciri. Miss me?
Did I miss you? Oh, like a fish misses water, you gutless bastard. For the first few weeks, anyhow. Till it turned to confusion and worry. Ye said ye'd write every night, didn't ye? Then where were the birds or the boats with your poems and pages?
You saying our pirate's a poet?
Zoti turns wide eyes to Seraphine, amusement making the corners of her mouth twitch.
Ciri, sweet honey heart. I scribbled you missives day and night. Declarations of passion, sonnets in songs. But on account of me being at sea, I never had the opportunity to post them.
Oh, I'm certain. I'm certain I should believe every word of that blarney. About as certain as I am that you're a snake-tongued philanderer worth little more than a tug in the rug.
I plundered you up a pair of fine, very fine, snakeskin boots, with that tooling you like round the cuffs and all. But the gentleman sprung a leak, and they ended up thoroughly sodden.
She scoffs, and he looks to you with a shrug.
Tell her, Cap.
She's upset, Seraphim. Lying won't set things straight.
Fucking I'm upset. Got every cod-crushing reason to put 16 plugs of lead in your furry blue ass and see how you sink.
Arms crossed, Ciri taps her right foot a smidge faster than the tempo of the music. Seraphim rubs the back of his head and clears his throat.
Ciri, I truly wish I was savvy to what's gone belly up betwixt us. I weren't intending to scorn you, I swear it on Andra's salty teat.
Oh, you weren't intending to scorn me, eh? You wish you was savvy, eh? Andra's salty fucking teat, eh?
Ah, balls. We be in for it now.
Ye can't just go showering a lass with wildflowers and filling her head with verse if you're planning to ship out and never see her again.
Seraphim winces, and shame splashes you like a bucket of cold piss. You let the visions come. Slick, wet fur in the lamplight, calloused palms perusing her pelt, tweaking teats and biting at the soft edge of the neck, thrusting into hotness, yet tender, hopeful. Not that this time will be the one that lasts, but that she might forget this sodden shithouse for an evening or two.
Ye've been lucky thus far, you know. I'm of half a mind to call ye out, and I'm no worse than many with a blade. Least then, perhaps you'll give me a lick of satisfaction.
Her hand strays towards her belt. You knew Seraphim Sales. Didn't you want him to leave? Ciri's eyes bulge and her arms go slack. She lets her head drop.
Aye, mate. Maybe you've got yourself a right idea there.
I'll be truly sorry, lass. Sorrier still than that. I won't go spinning no yarns about being married to the sea or coming home to you someday. I ain't that gentleman, nor never will be neither.
He straightens and meets her eyes.
Alls I can promise you is that what be broke in me there ain't fixing for. I'll be a right sad fuck. And there ain't nothing to account for it, but me.
Well said. Ciri sighs, wraps herself in her arms and peers at Seraphim for a long, quiet moment.
That I can understand. I'm not forgiving ye a lick now. I won't go seeking for your blood, neither. Now, why don't you be telling me what you want so I can be shot of ye for good?
Aye, lass. The captain's got an ask or two about Deadline. But first, I need to know. You remember Romaro? Sail with me on a sorcerer.
Aye, I remember Romaro. You think I've gone wet in the head or something? Your words have always been as flowery for him as they were for me.
Seraphim claps once, grinning.
It weren't so long ago he shipped out, come to think on it.
Why was he here at the fort?
Whale tells you, let me know. Rumour were he went mutinous.
Rage flashes behind your eyes and your blood goes hot.
Oh, sideways pickle or shit and a half.
Seraphim slams a fist into the nearby wall and Ciri flinches.
Wait till I find a whale fuck mother spreading this rancid shit. Teach them the very meaning of keelhaul, I will.
Don't know the truth of it myself. Might have been Romaro himself started the rumours. Gave him his privacy, certain. Even here, mutineers make no friends.
Where was Romaro staying?
Hard to starboard through the back door there, then straight on to the end of the hall.
She gestures to the northern exit from the room.
Don't think nobody's claimed his quarters since. Might be worth it to you to poke around.
Give my thanks, lass. Truly. And many more besides.
He bows deeply, braided beard brushing the floor.
Oh, keep it in your pantaloons, you randy swab. You had any other questions, Captain? Happy to oblige the person hauling this blue bastard away from Fort Deadlight.
Just who is this Romaro person Seraphim's looking for? Seraphim rolls his eyes and crosses his arms.
You don't know? That's so, I'm thinking it's not my place to tell you.
I need to know what Seraphine's getting my crew into.
They both crewed the Sorcerer for a season or 6. Rimaro were like a father to Seraphine, or so he's told me. Taught him the mariner's trade. More than that, you'd have to ask him yourself. Were there something else you wanted?
We're looking for Benweth.
That rotten fuck what brought you to Fort Deadlight? I hope you're looking to rough him round a bit. Maybe dangle him over the bulwarks.
What did Benweth do to upset you?
Bastard were playing the keys not 5 nights ago. I joined in, and me not even setting out a pail for coin, neither. He stops and tells the whole room that me voice were more harpy than siren. Course that sets everyone to laughing.
Playing the keys?
Aye, that half-mast sack of soiled linens can't leave alone a chance to show off his talent at the harpsichord. He's got chops, I can't fault him that, but no manners to speak of.
When does Benweth play the harpsichord?
You think this be some big city cabaret type establishment? There's no schedule, mate. Benwith comes down when the party's loud enough to shake his sheets harder than the oars he keeps up there.
Where can we find him?
Benwith blows into Deadlight, he mostly stays locked up in his quarters. A few whores in his bunk, and a whole mess of muscle outside his berth. He's so protected, you'd think he'd got flawless diamonds betwixt his legs, instead of the pair of sweat-wet, rotten figs he's got. Suppose the price of being a first-class arse like Benwith is living in fear of someone slitting your gizzard.
That's all I need to know about Benweth.
Aye, mate, as you please.
Farewell.
Welcome one and welcome all. Buy me a bottle and I'll be your finest loving pal.
She hiccups into her fist, then pounds it on her chest to loose an impressive belch.
What says you, lass?
I'm looking for Benweth. She wipes grog from her mouth with the back of her hand.
Aye, you're likely to find him here from time to time. At the moment, he's staying up top at Aldi's private quarters.
Why's that?
Well, they're real nice.
At your pointed look, she shrugs.
Oh, you meant because the captain's second in command at Aldi's. When she's off plundering, it's him who runs the Deadlight. Ben's locked down the inner halls in the upper ramparts. No one but his own crew's allowed within. He's temping the fort down because he doesn't want to get in trouble with Aldi's again. Last time, we might have got too rowdy. But executing all those political prisoners sure was fun.
Why's Benweth avoiding the fort's common areas?
He's brutal when he's sober and he's bloody mad when he drinks. So he's keeping to himself, I'd guess. Aldi's ain't a pushover, but she don't like Benny's increasing aggressiveness. If he gets out of hand again, she might hang him by his squishy bits from the bowsprit of his own ship.
Say I wanted to draw Benweth down here.
And why would you want to be doing that?
He and I have unfinished business.
So long as it stays between just you and him. Ben loves him some good festivities. Blood or booze doesn't matter so long as it's flowing freely. That's why Aldi's is always having to rein him in. Long as it don't get too out of hand, the captain will probably join us rather than shutting things down. I know how to get us started, but you'll be doing the legwork. Seeing as I don't fancy a punishment should the captain get mad.
What do we need to get a ruckus started?
The more booze, the rowdier we Principe get. The better the booze, well, that's when the real fun starts. I happen to know Deadlight's recently received a shipment of excellent Godkiller's rum. It's reserved for Aldi's private stock. Snatch us a barrel, will ya? They're outside on the eastern rampart at the base of the crane. Careful, though. The stairs will be guarded by Benweth's own crew, and they're in a sour mood.
How can I avoid the guards on the ramparts?
Most direct route to the rampart is up the stairs by the eastern towers. Ancret's on post there. She's a bit of a gambler, likes a good bet, but loses more than she ought. Oh yeah, Snake Eye's got her for quite a lot of coin. Seems he's good at rigging, and I don't mean sails.
What will Benwith do if Eldis's rum is stolen for a party?
He'll savour and guzzle it with the rest of us. Then later find someone to blame.
Farewell.
You're welcome to enjoy the court's offerings, and that's all. Eat, gamble, fall on your face drunk. But don't go snooping for trouble.
Can't say I recognise your fishy mug, which means you ought not to be up here.
Her busted, bloodied lips split a cocksure grin. With a bruised-knuckled hand, she blows you a kiss. You get in a fight recently?
Had a spot of trouble at the forge. He's sorted now, though.
Her eyes brighten as she rasps a rough laugh.
Don't be worrying about my kisser. Enough prattling. For now, only Benwith's personal crewmates are permitted into Deadlight's Heights. You ain't one. So swim off.
I heard you owe Snake Eyes quite a debt.
Who told you that? Was it Condwin? That chunk of rotted hagfish. He ought to know when to keep his mouth shut. What did he say? Precisely.
He boasted of using a rigged die to cheat you.
Rotten wounds. It's that bloody fucking die of his. I knew it. I'll put a whinger through his nose holes. See what he says then. You're a dead one now.
It doesn't sound like you come to settle your debt. So I've got a game to run if you don't mind.
You lubberly squid shit. I know about the rigged die.
What? What slammocky lies? I'm cleaner than a spit-shine culverin, don't make no doubt of that.
I've lost enough to you, but it don't got to include my pride. I'm hauling you to the dungeons.
Real quiet now. That's the crane with the rum, right?
Might that be my sweetest new crony, bringing me a fresh cask of bitter booze? I tell you, chum, I amaze my spirit if not my ship.
The pirate whips her head around at your approach, swaying slightly on her feet.
What says you, lass?
Is this the right rum?
Only way to know for sure is to give it a taste, eh? Let's just have a quick swig. Burning blast my bones, yeah! This'll sink the festivities into deeper waters, all right? Drink up, Tars, to all better friendship.
Hooray! Sluice the ivories and run freely to rum!
How comes it? We're having an uproarious time.
You said Benwith would be here. He's not.
Well, we're having a good time. Clearly the party's not wild enough yet. We need a bigger, wilder party if we want to whet Benwith's appetite. We get wild enough and you watch. Ben will even play us some tunes. That's his harpsichord over in the corner.
I'm sure this won't involve anything nefarious.
Wouldn't be much fun if it didn't. What we need is some stew to match our spirits. But not just any stew. It has to be Cookie Maynard's specially spiced.
Elbowing you in the ribs, she winks exaggeratedly.
What I mean is, it's got a phantasmal kick to it. Cookie's kitchens are in the northern side of the dungeons, beyond the powder stores, right in the belly of our fort. The lower floor's locked down though, so sneaking past the guards might prove difficult.
Guards?
They like debauchery as much as the rest of us, so they might be inclined to leave their posts if they knew what a grand time we're having up here.
Tell me more about Benweth's harpsichord.
He stole it, no surprise there, and he plays it like a god sent from hell. Best thing I ever heard aside from a man's moans in the air. Did you know we knew? Oh, we were discussing Benny's rapturous fingers, not mine. He plays like a hurricane night after night. The louder we get, the harder he pounds those keys. He can't help it, a preening sprat.
Farewell.
It's nice when folks kick back and have a good time.
Ahoy, Captain. If I could bend your ear a moment, I'll be aiming to thank you for bringing me aboard.
A furred hand at his belly and one heel out, he bows deeply, drooping ear almost touching the ground.
You run a tight shop, and you ain't no terrible person, neither. It'd be a welcome change from the gentleman of leisure.
Tell me about the gentleman of leisure.
The gentleman is only the finest ship among the Principe, and Captain Ferrante, our most respected shipmaster. It were 2 honours and a half to be chosen to join his crew.
Why were you willing to leave that crew to join mine?
Don't sell yourself a Suole short, Cap, nor me neither. I know an opportunity when I board it. I'd seen what there were to be seen upon the gentleman, learn what ropes were to be learned. Methinks a watcher after a dead god'll thrust me into an whole new set of eye-openings. And believe you me, I do appreciate myself a good thrust.
You're welcome.
I've a gift for you. This trinket be from one of the first ships I hunted. Malnage would have snatched it had I not found a perfect hiding spot.
So where did you hide it?
Don't know were I to tell you that, you mightn't want it no more.
Seraphim gives an innocent whistle while scratching his ass as subtly as one could scratch it.
Just a jest, Cap. Nay, I tucked it away in my beard. Didn't wear braids back then, so my hair caught about everything from feathers to fish bones. Malnar shook me down for plunder after each raid. I figured out she wouldn't go nowhere near my beard. Said my face were like a saw-rip fetish.
Why did Malnage treat you so badly?
Don't rightly know for sure, Cap. Thought at first she wanted me. Lasses be that way sometimes, treating you worse the more they fancy you. Given she tried to get me killed twice within our first fortnight together, I thought mayhap she were in deepest love.
So what was the issue?
As I said, never rightly figured it out. It worked that I were all in, given she were too. Romaro said she might have been emerald green with envy, but I'll be well himself if I know what's of.
He shrugs, his palms up and spread wide. You aren't exactly couth. You probably offended her.
Aye, that's about how I had it figured too. My mouth's landed me in straits a time of 10.
He winks with a snicker.
Just never figured Malnage is the sensitive sort, savvy?
Thank you for the gift, Seraphim.
You be entirely welcome. Now, if you'll pardon me, I've roundabout reached my limit for sentiment.
Seraphim salutes, grinning broadly, and turns away.